Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in the Philippines. They think it is just registration, a few forms, and they are ready to operate. But here's the truth, no one tells you. The Philippines has one of the most structured, but also one of the most misunderstood business registration systems in Southeast Asia. If you miss even one requirement, your business can get delayed, rejected, or stuck in compliance limbo for weeks or months. So if you are planning to start a company in the Philippines in 2026, whether you are a foreign investor, freelancer scaling into a business, or an entrepreneur entering Southeast Asia, this guide will walk you step by step in the simplest way possible. And here's the promise. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how to legally register a company in the Philippines, what type of business structure you should choose, what foreign ownership rules apply, how taxes work, what government agencies are involved, and how to go from idea to fully operating business without confusion. Let's start immediately. The first thing you need to understand is that business registration in the Philippines is not handled by one single authority. It is a system of multiple government agencies working together. And this is where most beginners get confused. You will deal mainly with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the local government unit, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and sometimes special investment authorities depending on your business type. Now, before we even talk about registration, we need to talk about structure. Because your entire process depends on this. In the Philippines, there are several business structures, but the most important ones are sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. If you are a local entrepreneur starting small, a sole proprietorship is the simplest option. But if you want limited liability, scalability, or foreign investment involvement, you will almost always go with a corporation. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you are a foreigner, you usually cannot freely operate a sole proprietorship. You need a corporation structure, and foreign ownership rules may apply depending on the industry. Let's take a real example. Imagine Alex from the UK wants to start an online outsourcing company in Manila. That is possible, but he needs to check foreign equity restrictions and minimum capital requirements. Now imagine John from India wants to open a local food business. That may require different licensing and possibly local partnership depending on ownership limitations. So the first real step is choosing your business structure correctly. Now let's move to the most commonly used structure for serious businesses, which is the domestic corporation. A corporation in the Philippines is registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as SEC. This is your primary incorporation authority. But before SEC approval, you must complete several preparatory steps. Step 1 is company name verification. You cannot just pick any name and use it. You must reserve your company name through the CC online system. The name must be unique, not misleading, and compliant with naming guidelines. Let's say you want to start a company called Manila Digital Growth Solutions. You submit this name for approval. If it is already taken or too similar to another company, you will need alternatives. Most people fail here because they only submit one name. The smart approach is to prepare 3 to 5 variations. Now once your name is approved, the next step is drafting your articles of incorporation. This is one of the most important legal documents in your entire business setup. This document defines your company purpose, business activities, share structure, directors, and ownership distribution. Now here's where many people make a critical mistake. They treat this document as a formality. But in reality, this is your legal foundation. If your business activity is written too narrowly, you may be restricted later. If it is too broad, you may face compliance questions. So it must be carefully structured. Next, you must define your capital structure. The Philippines does not always require massive paid-up capital for all businesses, but foreign-owned companies often have minimum capital requirements depending on industry type. For example, export-oriented companies may have lower capital requirements, while domestic market companies may have stricter rules for foreign ownership. Now here's the important part. If your company is more than 40% foreign-owned and serving the domestic market, you may be subject to higher minimum paid-up capital requirements. This is where most foreign entrepreneurs get surprised. They assume they can own 100% of any company. That is not always the case. But here's the good news. The Philippines has become more flexible in recent years for many industries, especially in its services, outsourcing, consulting, and export businesses. Now, after preparing your incorporation documents, you submit them to the CA. Once approved, your corporation becomes legally registered. But we are not done yet. Because SEC registration alone does not allow you to operate. Next comes local government registration. This means you must register your business with the city or municipality where you will operate. This is called the business permit or mayor's permit. Let's take an example. If Jake opens a cafe in Cebu, he must register with the Cebu local government unit. If he opens an office in Makati, he must register there instead. This step includes zoning clearance, barangay clearance, fire safety inspection, and sanitation compliance depending on your business type. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many entrepreneurs underestimate this step and focus only on SEC. But without a local business permit, you are not legally allowed to operate physically in the Philippines. Next step is tax registration. You must register with the Bureau of Internal Revenue, also known as BIR. This gives you your tax identification number and allows you to issue official receipts, file taxes, and operate legally. The BIR registration also determines your tax obligations depending on your business type, revenue, and structure. Now here's something very important. The Philippines tax system includes corporate income tax, VAT for certain businesses, and withholding taxes depending on employee structure. But once properly set up, compliance becomes predictable and manageable with accounting support. Now let's talk about hiring employees. If you plan to hire staff, you must register with social institutions like SSS, PhilHealth, and PAG-IBIG. These are mandatory for employers and ensure employee benefits and social security coverage. Now let's bring everything together in a simple flow. First, choose your business structure based on ownership and activity. Second, reserve your company name with SECDOI. Third, prepare and submit articles of incorporation. Fourth, define capital structure and ownership. Fifth, register and obtain SEC approval. Sixth, register with local government for business permits. Seventh, register with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Eighth, register with social institutions if hiring employees. And ninth, begin operations with full compliance. Now here's something most guides don't explain clearly. Starting a company is not the hardest part in the Philippines. The real challenge is alignment. SEC rules, local permits, and tax registration must all match perfectly. If one detail is inconsistent, it can cause delays in banking, hiring, or expansion. So accuracy matters more than speed. Now let's talk about timelines. If everything is prepared correctly, company registration can take a few weeks. But delays often happen due to document corrections, name conflicts, or missing requirements. Costs also vary depending on whether you use legal assistance, location, and business complexity. Now here's a powerful insight. The Philippines is one of the strongest outsourcing and service economies in Asia. That means businesses in it, remote services, consulting, and export industries, often find very favorable conditions. But success depends on proper setup and compliance discipline. So let's quickly summarize everything. You start by choosing the correct structure. Then you reserve your company name. Then you prepare legal incorporation documents. Then you register with SEC.EK. After that, you secure local government permits. Then you register with the tax authority. And finally, you complete social registrations and begin operations. If you follow this process step by step, you can build a fully legal and scalable company in the Philippines without unnecessary delays or legal issues. And here is the most important takeaway. Most people struggle not because the Philippines is difficult, but because they underestimate the system and skip steps. If you respect the process, it becomes very predictable and highly rewarding for business growth. If this guide helped you understand the full process clearly, make sure to like this video, comment with your questions, and subscribe for more step-by-step global business guides. You are now significantly ahead of most beginners trying to enter the Philippine market, and that advantage matters.